Cortland is starting work on this here GTI. This is a cool looking GTI right here. It's a 2015, and it has a good old-fashioned classic water pump leak. Water pump's underneath the intake manifold. And here's the beautiful part about it. This vehicle has 34,000 miles, and Volkswagen won't warranty it. Here's the replacement water pump. Customers provided this for us. It has, it's made by Ina or Schaeffler, which is, I'm pretty sure that's a division of ZF, but it's a plastic water pump, and it has an electrical component that plugs into it right there. It's obviously an electrical motor right there. Water pump's still driven by a belt, but maybe the thermostat's computer controlled on this. Anyway, it's another plastic water pump. It's going to leak again. This vehicle only has 34,000 miles on it. When are they going to learn? I mean, the older CCT motors, we've been pulling those out and putting aluminum water pumps in them for 2 years now. And so here they have another beautiful design, and it's leaking at 34,000 miles. Unacceptable, Volkswagen. I haven't seen anything this stupid for a while, but here on this 2001, maybe 2002 Passat, this is a transmission mount, and the transmission mounts are mounted upside down and underneath where they're supposed to go. That is just hilarious. You probably can't tell. It looks reasonably well like it might belong that way, but if you know how they're supposed to go, you can see that's wrong. This car is not in here for this problem. This car is in here for an unrelated problem, but that's pretty funny there. What's wrong with that picture? You notice the engine started stumbling when I did that. Stop stumbling. Start stumbling. I don't know if you can hear that vacuum leak there. But what's wrong with that picture is it's supposed to have an O-ring on it. So the crankcase vent system puts vacuum on the crankcase in order to remove any crankcase pressure, and so the dipstick needs to seal. And with a lot of these engines, the part of the dipstick that has the O-ring on it breaks off. I don't know whether that O-ring ends up inside the oil pan or whether it falls on the ground somewhere when somebody checks the oil, but this car needs this new dipstick. Okay, I believe this is a 2012, but it's of that generation, even if it's not exactly a 2012. It's a common rail TDI, and we're doing a time build on it right now. And I just wanted to show that Volkswagen never learns. They put these foam things on Mark IVs. They put these foam things on Mark IVs, and they cause the fenders to rust. Literally right there. Literally right there. And they're still putting a piece of foam there. Why is this a problem? Take a look at this. Look how much water that holds. Just stupid, stupid, stupid. It's obviously going to make the car rust. And some of you may remember that the Mark IVs had a rust warranty added, like a special warranty added because of the damage. There was a class action lawsuit regarding that, so Volkswagen had to warranty those for an extended period of time. I just can't believe how stupid this is. We have here a 2010 Ford Expedition, and this customer had a fuel gauge that wasn't working, and we put a fuel sending unit in it, and that fixed it. Nothing difficult about that. But I want to talk about due diligence. When I called the dealership tried to sell me a fuel pump for the fuel sending unit. Instead of just getting a fuel sending unit, they wanted me to put a fuel pump in it. And I think that part should be available separately, because this is a common failure point on these. How do I know this? Because I did a little internet research. And so I called a second dealership, and that second dealership tried to get me to put a fuel pump in it as well. But the third dealership that I called, look what I was able to get. a fuel sending unit. You can see there's a burn mark where that's probably part of the failure. Let me get you the part number on this thing. The reason I'm making this short video is because I could have easily sold the customer a fuel pump for this problem, but the cost would have doubled or tripled. And they just invested quite a bit of money on that, because last time they went to a Ford dealership sold them an engine to the tune of $10,000. I don't remember exactly how much, but a whole lot of money. So here's the part number on your fuel sending unit, so that you don't have to buy a fuel pump if you don't want to. Now you have to make a reasonable decision. Does the mileage warrant replacing the fuel pump? You don't want to put this in and then have to put a fuel pump in 3 days later or 3 weeks later. So, you know, take into account your mileage and make a decision whether you want to replace a fuel pump or whether you want to replace the fuel sending unit. But the honest mechanic makes an attempt to fix it cheaply, and this was a cheap repair, whereas a fuel pump would have been much more expensive. We just pulled this clutch out of this Mark V TDI, and the flywheel is just absolutely destroyed. This is the worst one I've ever seen. You can just simply spin it. It's still bolted to the crankshaft, and you can just spin it. Good thing about that is we can get to these bolts easy. Don't have to cut the center out like we've had to do on some. But the bad thing about it is it allowed movement, and it rubbed against the trans. I think most of that is just cosmetic damage. You probably still reuse it, but definitely caused some damage. The subject of this video is customer complaints. We put a compressor on this car the other day. I know we're a Volkswagen shop, but we have customers who used to drive Volkswagens and now drive Ford Tauruses, and customers who own a Volkswagen and a Ford Taurus, or things like that, so we end up working on other cars also. But there's the new compressor, and the customer's back today complaining that it doesn't blow cool enough. So let's take a quick look at the pressures. Is the compressor sucking? Is the compressor blowing? I would say yes. And let's see what the temperature is.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, focus, little thing.
Proving to be very difficult.
It's focused on the floor. Let's see if we can get it to focus by putting my hand behind here. There we go. 46.7. I don't know how we can fix this customer complaint. Not blowing cold enough. I mean, this is just sitting in the bay after sitting here for 3 minutes, maybe 4. This isn't even going down the road. Shut up. Shut up, radio. This is not even driving down the road. This car's been started for 3, maybe 4 minutes, and this is not even driving down the road with the RPMs up, turning the compressor faster without the airflow in the front of the radiator. I don't understand what they're here for. The only thing this taillight is missing is some fish swimming around in it. That's amazing. That thing is filled 3/4 of the way up with water. Pretty. Rebuilt head, new cam, new lifters. In the shop today we have a 75 Porsche 914, 2 liter, all original, no rust. It's a running and driving car, but it hasn't been started for a while. Mariah wanted to show how much oil was coming out of this pipe, so could you show us how much oil is coming out of it? And all this oil right here came out of the intercooler?
Yep, sure did.
Did you ever find that impeller? Oh. The impeller just fell out of the exhaust pipe. Anyway, that's interesting. It's just so rare and unusual. It's got to go on camera. Can anyone guess what this is? Oh, it's a cruiser. Here we go. Studebaker. Studebaker. This is in really good shape. And it's got air conditioning by Studebaker. It's in real good shape on the inside. Real good shape on the outside. Look at those miles. I have no idea if that's original or not. It says 336. It's got air conditioning. Does the air conditioning work? Probably not. This car does run and drive, starts up, runs really good. Front suspension very worn out. This car's been in here once before. We knocked some U-joints in it. Vanity.